What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your brewmaster in chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, we're finally gonna be diving into the Explorer meta, and you will have to excuse me because I have no idea what I'm doing here. I literally just went onto Untapped. And I mean, of course, I outsourced a bit of help to a few friends of the channel who do play Explorer, and they gave me some ideas. But my thinking was, when it comes to this little week of Explorer that we're going to be doing before I get back to some standard content, is it is a very good way, especially for newcomers to the client, to get into the game. Actually, now that I have thought about it, because standard is very expensive, you do need to have like the majority of the card pool. But there's some of these decks from Explorer that are very cheap, very easy to build, and that you can just play forever. They're never going to rotate. It's very rare that a card in them will get banned or anything like that. So just you know, for those of you who are watching this, I know a lot of my subscribers already have very complete collections and are more after the, you know, me trying to push new standard meta decks and push Mythic. But there's a lot of you that watch that also are just newcomers to the client, and you're trying to build collections, and you're struggling with the economy, and you're trying to find ways to build a deck that's fun and playable and that can still get you wins. And it's a problem because the economy is what it is. So just that's kind of the setup. That's the preface. That's how we're going to be looking at this next little week. It's I'm trying to find brews for you guys from the Explorer meta that are, or at least as far as the first little bit of this week is concerned, easier to build, cheap, with not too many rares and mythics, and that once you do get there, you'll be able to play forever without needing to upgrade. Or, you know, usually what happens in Explorer, and this is my hot take from having played it so little, is essentially all you're doing is taking the very, very best cards from each new set that comes. You have your deck, let's say, for the sake of argument, you're playing Angels or mono white humans or whatever, and you look at the whole set that's just dropped for a new standard legal set, and you find the only card out of maybe 300-400 cards that is going to improve your deck, and you only need to craft that one. And you just slot it in and keep on going. You don't need to craft the entire new set, which definitely is very appealing. Not necessarily for me personally, because I do really love standard, and I like this rotating and evolving meta. Explorer evolves a lot slower, because rarely is there a new card from a standard legal set that is just so good that it replaces a pre-existing card in your Angels deck, in your Humans deck, in your Rakdos mid-range deck, or whatever. But testament to the last couple of sets. I mean, again, I know nothing of this meta. I've just been playing it over the last sort of 2-3 days to prepare for tonight. Lots of cards from standard. Things like, you know, Sheoldred, Fable of the Mirror Breaker, just to name a few, are like staples in Explorer as well, which is crazy. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit rambly. Shh, Shakti. That's my dog. Beg your pardon. She's old and she's grumpy. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Without further ado, let's jump into the first of our Explorer brews. As you can see here, I have already favorited 4. I've got another Azorius one that I'm kind of working on. Don't look at this. It's not Mondrak. This is standard. But I've got an Azorius control one that I want to make the 5th deck in my little Explorer mini-series. But for tonight, we're going to be looking at humans. Because I think it's... I beg your pardon, Boros Heroic. Because I think of these, it's the easiest one to craft. There's not that many rares and mythics. It's very easy kind of gameplay. It's also currently registering a very high win rate, even in Mythic, in Best of 1. And so without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. Boros Heroic. And again, of course, we're in Explorer, so we get to play with companions. And I guess Jegantha here is just like, whatever. Why not? A free extra card that you get to have in the deck. None of the cards in the deck have more than one of the same mana symbols, so you get to play Jegantha as your companion, but it's really not neither here nor there. It's just whatever. But as you can see, uncommon, 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 common, common, uncommon, 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 uncommon. 2 rares. That's it. I mean, the most expensive part about this deck is the mana base. And even that isn't essential, of course, as you know. I mean, you could definitely just play this with, like, white and red lands if you're just starting off, and then you can slowly work your way up to the mana base. I had to make a few adjustments because I didn't have a full playset of the Sacred Foundries. So I ended up slotting in, I believe I just put in an extra pathway or 1 extra basic land or whatever. And that's it. I mean, it's super easy to craft. You could almost make this on the first day when you've just installed Arena, and you'll get yourself and of course you don't have to put Jegantha as your companion. You could just play without it, and you've got yourself a deck that's currently registering upwards of 60% win rate on Untapped. So what is Heroic? Well, it's an ability that's very similar to Prowess in a sense. There's only a few cards in the deck that actually have it. The Favored Hoplite here is one of them. So basically, whenever you cast a spell that targets it, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. Also nice that prevent all damage that will be dealt to it this turn. But as you can see, under different names, that sort of an ability has been around for quite some time. We have the Monastery Swiftspear, which is a newer reprint that has Prowess, which says that whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then we've got things like the Illuminator Virtuoso. Whenever you target it, it connives, gets bigger. The 10th Legionnaire District, whenever you cast a spell that targets it, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. So you see where we're going here. It's basically what now in Standard you could definitely play something very similar to this. Which I think would be interesting for me to append to this video at the end and just show you how will we build something like this in Standard right now. So stay tuned. But the rest of the deck is just filled with cards that target our own creatures so that we can get the bonuses from the Prowess, from the Heroic, and you know, there's cards that don't specifically have a mechanic, but that essentially do the same thing. So we've got Defiant Strike, which puts a +1/+0 and draws you a card, instant speed. We've got God's Willing, which is crucial. I actually played with this while it was in Standard. Target creature control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Scry 1. All of these are like cheap and often instant speed. We got Homestead Courage, of course, from Midnight Hunt with flashback. Put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature, gains vigilance until end of turn. Ancestral Anger, so you know, drawing cards with Defiant Strike, drawing cards with Ancestral Anger, amazing. And then Monastery Swiftspear, we know what that does. Reckless Rage is our 1 removal piece. It deals 4 damage to target creature you don't control and 2 damage to target creature you do control. So again, with the Hoplite, if you target it, you put a +1/+1 counter on it and prevent all damage. So I mean, even if it didn't have that prevent all damage dealt to this turn clause on it, which is of course great when you're in combat, but as far as Reckless Rage is concerned, you are targeting your own creature, so it gets a +1/+1, so it becomes a 2/3. and then you're dealing 4 damage to the opponent, and that's often the case with most of these. Like, if you target your own Monastery Swiftspear, by the time you've cast the spell, the prowess goes off, it becomes a 2/3, so it's no longer dying to your own Reckless Rage, so it's just a nice little bit of a removal spell, which can be used as a combat trick as well. And then we've got 2 Sejiri Shelters alongside our God's Willing to give protection. And the Dreadhorde Arcanist. This, I mean, I copied this deck off the internet, right? If it was up to me, I may go up to a 3rd copy of this. Super nice. Whenever it attacks, you may cast a target instant or sorcery card with mana value less than or equal to its power from the graveyard without paying its mana cost. So a nice way of like recasting your, you know, your Ancestral Angers, your Reckless Rages from the graveyard, and continuing to buff up your squad in combat during, you know, after you've already attacked. Then there's 2 Invigorating Rampages, which allows you to choose one. Either give 1 creature +4/+0 and trample until end of turn, or give 2 creatures +2/+0 and trample until end of turn. So very nice, you know, targeting both your Hoplite and your Virtuoso, whilst at the same time triggering the Monastery Swiftspear. I mean, you can see how explosive this is. And then the 10th District Legionnaire here, when you do target it with a spell, it gets +1/+1 and you scry. So like, cooked into what is already helping the plan along, you're also getting card draw, scry, damage, you know, the Ancestral Anger, Defiant Strike, drawing you cards, the scry from the 10th Legionary District, the scry from the God's Willing, the filtering of cards with the Illuminator's Connive. There's lots going on here, and that's really it. I don't want to go too deep into the theory. I think the best thing for me to do is just to play it for you guys. In the mana base, we got 1 Eiganjo, 1 of each basic, a bunch of different duels. Nothing much else I need to say other than let's jump into some games and see how the deck performs on the Mythic ladder. Been testing out some Greasefang, updated with the new Shadow of an Innistrad remastered that just hit Arena yesterday. Now it's essentially exactly the same as the Pioneer list, which is pretty cool. Those of you who play Pioneer might know that. I'm not entirely aware of the sitch. Definitely gonna go for Swiftspear swing. Anyway, we can't play Virtuoso until turn 3 against most opponents. So far, my impression of the meta has been like Devotion, green and black. Mostly, a lot of Azorius control. Oh, would have preferred an untapped land. He's gonna... See, I'm so like used to standard. I like never know what's coming. My apologies if I play it badly. Like... Another land. It's only like, what? How many have we got in the deck in total? 13, 14, 15, 16, 18 lands total. And then 2 more with, if you include the Sejiri Shelters. Oh, that sucks.
When I win, you're telling me what you know about the Raven. Off you go.
Protection. I can only plus. We can throw away the land.
We all have things we'd rather avoid. Okay, eats our Swiftspear. It feels like standard. Did
Did I join the wrong queue? Oof. Haha. Let's see if he blocks. Yeah, let's get rid of this thing. Actually, no. That's fine. We're holding up God's Willing for some targeted removal on the Virtuoso. There it is. Yes.
Isn't how things were supposed to go.
He's probably got another fatal push though. The remove, I mean, second hot take as far as this format is concerned. So broken. Like it's every best card ever from every set for every archetype. So it's just like only busted everything. So cool though, like when you just don't expect it at all. Everything is new. I have no idea what I'm doing. Like... Okay. Can't swing with the Trespasser, can you? Wow, let's the Trespasser take it. So now we gotta draw some, like, of the Trample, the Invigorating Rampage. Fable. Again, like, just mostly standard cards so far. There it is. We got it. So we gave protection from red. I mean from black, so we just gotta take out the red. That's it. Woo! I mean, we get protection from black, so we just get rid of the last red card. Nice. Impressed with Boros Heroic. Like, the win rate is so high, and for like the budget friendliness of it, it's so freaking cheap. Like, you really don't need to spend all your wild cards on it. Okay. Game 1 victory against what appeared to be some kind of Rakdos pile. So this is another land, right? But nah. Much better. Ooh, Yorion. Wow. Like I said, just no idea what's going on. Okay. I'll take it. And then those of you who are, you know, standard only players like myself who are watching this, like, maybe when it, you know, standard gets a bit stale like it is right now, a bit bored, you can dip your toe into this whole new format with thousands of cards that you've probably never seen on the battlefield before. That you can just, you know, it feels at least different and interesting, and like, you never know what the opponent's going to play. It's not just like turn 5 Invoke Despair every single game you play kind of thing, which is great. Chiz. What's up, Chiz? Yeah, I think that's a keeper of some kind, at least. Okay, Elf Ball. It's probably Golgari Elves. Or just Mono Green Devotion. Yeah, Mono Green Devotion.
Bet you've never been hugged by a kraken before.
Probably going to be the 3 mana 4/4 trample. He's not playing the Snowlands, so maybe not. Five mana on turn
Love
3.
to make a splash.
That's my biggest problem with this format. It's just like, I'll never get behind it 100%. I do want to diversify the content, and that's why I'm doing this, to bring you guys something different, but it's just too powerful. Especially in best of 1, it just feels like your game's over on turn 3, like, most of the time. This just, like, it's, like I said, always the best card possible. All the best cards possible for that specific archetype through like every set that's available on Arena right now. You know, therefore, busted ass non-stop. Oh, I should have. Oh, it's got haste. That didn't swing. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, we've got a Virtuoso down. That is good. And 2 ways of protecting it. It's got 3 mana available. Looks to be some sort of treasure, shenanigans, all stuff from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms so far. Wow. Scry the Connived. Okay. No idea what's cracking. He goes. Nice. Wow, just slamming people actually. Like, my win rate so far has been more than I can. I'm so happy with this deck. Like, I want to try and build something similar in standard now. Boros Prowess or whatever. We've got the pieces. You'll just have to stay tuned. You know, I'm thinking Angel Fire Ignition. I'm thinking, of course, Illuminator Virtuoso. We've got Takasia. No, what's it? Anyway, there's a lot of like save my dudes stuff. Uh-oh, is it? Play with fire. Zap. Gotta love it. Lightning Strike. In this battlefield, ice counter, blah, blah, into sorcery, blah, 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 blah. Transforms into gigantic. Wow, okay. Okay. Kraken horror. That is busted. Whenever remove how many? Great. Again, like standard cards, plenty of them. How many does he have to get to? What? Are you kidding me? Okay. Again, like, most broken stuff ever. Okay. You just concede when he plays that card. Like, there's just some decks that cannot do it, like mine, that just, okay. I mean, I had a card come in on the next top deck that would have dealt with the backside of it, but or the front side, but the backside was just way too strong. Dry Blast. And you can tell by how quickly people scoop. Rampy. Sultai action. Busted. There's black here. Okay. Again, standard card. Great removal piece. Got something. Well, I remember playing with this back in the day. It was pretty much when I first started playing Arena. Okay, so hopefully no sweeper. That's all I can say. Shelly. Okay. That's beautiful. Protection from black. Off you go. Wow. Wow, man. Fast, quick games. Just feels so good, man. I think that's why I picked this for the... I mean, I don't think. I know that's why I picked this for the first deck for this little mini-series. Is because it's just budget-friendly, explosive, fun to play, aggro style. Just kind of ticks all the checkboxes, at least as far as my preferred playstyle is concerned. It takes a bit of thinking, but not too much. I made a few BrewLabifications. If I were to make one more, I'd probably, like I said, put in an additional copy of the Dreadhorde Arcanist. Yay. Probably take Defiant Strike. If I was him, I'd take this strike. That's what I thought. Okay, so it's probably going to be Sultai I mean, Abzan Greasefang. I'm fairly certain it's Greasefang. Yeah, definitely Greasefang. Sorry. Still no Parhelion in the yard. Yet. Let's play a creature. Any creature. Liliana. Okay. So we're gonna +1 Liliana.
Enough with the
Discard
mysteries.
Parhelion.
You won't be outsmarting me.
There's no removal in this deck, so... Let's see you play Greasefang now. Okay, no idea what that does. Greasefang in the yard. He's probably got one in hand then.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Oh, what an ass.
Fine. I'll take my zombies and
Still
leave.
no Parhelion in the yard. This list is on the cards, as you saw from the 4 or 5 I favorited. Oh, he got it. Next. At least the games are quick. Like, that's the one thing I like to say about Explorer. Like, the power level is so high that you know when you're gonna lose. Like, and you can just concede and move on to the next one. I'm assuming best of 3 is a freaking nightmare. How are we doing for time? Alright. At least a couple more in us. Maybe 3, considering how quick the games are. The updated Greasefang list that I've got is bonkers. That's a mulligan, for sure. Okay, let's give this a try. Haven't played against anyone playing Naya yet. Okay, forget I said anything. Maybe it's Domain. Lol. Okay. Domain in Explorer. Now we got protection. Hmm. That's 10. God's willing in hand. Meat hook. Whoa. It's been a while since we've seen any meat hooks. Okay. Protection from red incoming. Really? Unbelievable. Oh, I forgot about that. Unbelievable. He had, he's playing Legends. Whew. Okay. Trample should do the trick. Oh! Just pick any color. Any color that Joda has. So let's just go with whatever. Black. Wow, I'm shocked, man. Like how high a win rate a deck so simple can have with no rares except for the mana base in like a format like this with so many powerful like removals and everything. Simple game plan. I love it. I absolutely love it. Guys, that is going to have to be it for tonight's gameplay footage. I think I gave Boros Heroic a good showing there. I don't know how we did in terms of wins. For those of you keeping track, let me know in the comments. But overall, were I to make any adjustments to this particular list myself, I would maybe consider putting in an additional copy of the Invigorated Rampage. And maybe one more Dreadhorde Arcanist. And the problem is I don't know what I would cut. But I mean, with these decks, they've all been very carefully crafted by people that know exactly what they're doing over a long period of time, because it's all the cards that are available in Arena, like except for whatever's on the ban list. So they're all obviously like the very best specific cards that should be going in this deck. But the trample here is obviously very important for the Virtuoso to get through for damage. But the protection from a specific color, so you can attack through a specific color, is also very important. So what would you cut? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. But this is Boros Heroic Explorer Edition, and I hope you enjoyed it. But that is going to be it for tonight's gameplay footage. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all in the next one with another Explorer Fresh Brew. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.